What's going on? It's Audrey here with the CBCAnetwork.com. Welcome to another weekly live stream. On this channel, we help entrepreneurs and business owners get access to personal and business funding using our simple 5-step process. So if you like this content, if you're new to the channel and you want to learn more about how to get personal and business funding for your personal and business needs, definitely make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. It helps our content get out to a wider audience. And I truly, truly appreciate the support. If this is your first time, make sure you type a 1 in the chat and let me know that this is your first time being on a weekly live stream. We got a good one tonight, man. What's going on, Red? What's happening? What's happening, man? As you guys come into the chat, just type your city and state. Type your city and state. My sis showed up for me, man. So appreciate you, Red, for tapping in. But we're gonna get into it tonight, man. We're gonna be talking about how to get startup funding. So remember our last live stream, not last week, but the week before last, we talked about how to get Stripe Capital. Stripe is a great resource for startup funding. Okay, so today we're going to talk about some no PG options, right? No personal guarantee. And we're going to talk about personal guarantee options for business funding for startups. Okay, now I want to kind of make the distinction on what a startup technically is, right? Because most people think a startup is you started an LLC last month or 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago. A startup essentially is a business that has been in business less than 18 months. That's technically what banks look at startups as. If you have not necessarily crossed the 18-month mark, they really technically look at you as a startup. Okay. Now, this can be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. It could be a bad thing if your goal is to get quote unquote no dot funding, no tax returns, no bank statements. It can be a good thing if, let's say, you started a business, a trucking business, and let's say your first year in business, you did about 300,000. You're on pace to do about 500,000 trucking. It's a good thing because you show revenue, which the banks like to see when they're running a business funding application. So you have opportunities to get access to funding um, as a startup, right? So technically, a startup means that you've been in business, established on the Secretary of State, less than 18 months. All right, family. So that's technically what a startup is. Now, most times when you hear startups, some people tend to think about business plans, having a business plan for a startup. I'm not a huge fan of business plans, right? I'm not a huge fan of them, but the one purpose I will say that business plans serve a great purpose for is if you're seeking capital funding, bank funding from like a Chase, a US Bank, or Wells Fargo. Now, some banks, they just don't lend to startups, right? And when I say lend to startups, I mean any type of business, term loan, business line of credit, anything outside of a credit card. You can get a credit card for a new business pretty much out the gate as long as your personal credit is structured properly. And if you definitely are looking to figure out how to structure your personal credit properly, make sure you tap in with our Easy Masterclass. It's a 1-day free event where we literally break down the blueprint step by step. You're with me for 3 hours on Saturday, right? This coming Saturday, August 27th. We're going to show you how to structure your personal credit, how to fix your own personal credit, how to build business credit, how to find banks in your local area that are actively lending, how to have conversations with these banks, and most importantly, how to get your first or your next $100,000 in funding. So make sure you go over to easymasterclass.com, or you could text the letters EZ to 980-825-4360. Again, you can text the letters EZ to 980-825-4360. But technically, you do want to have your personal credit structured properly before you ask for a business credit card. Now, the business lines of credit are a lot harder to get. There's a lot more documentation. They want to see tax returns. They may ask for revenue, profit and loss, things of that nature. So, as a brand new business, there are options for you. Okay. Now, I want to say again, having a business plan is a great tool. Shout out to the homie B the entrepreneur, my homie Brandy. She does the business plans for you, gets them turned around to you in 10 to 14 days. So make sure you check her out on Instagram, b.the.entrepreneur, if you are looking for a business plan. Okay. But one key essential piece to a business plan is, and I was just having this conversation today with a score client in regards to what banks typically want to see, right? So let's talk about what banks want to see in addition to you having your LLC, your DUNS number, your business bank account, your EIN, all of that good stuff. You need all of that good stuff. What they're going to want to see is a personal financial statement. Personal financial statement, okay? And this is going to consist of basically a net worth calculation, right? So you're going to add up all your assets, right? Your home, your rental properties, your boats, um, your cars, your bank accounts, everything that you have liquid or can liquidate if you need to. They're going to want to see that on paper. And then they're going to look at your debts. So they're going to look at your mortgages, your student loans, your credit card balances, any personal loans you have, any debts that you have, right? And then what they're going to do is they typically are going to go ahead and make an assessment on, just financially where you are, what your picture is looking like. Now, I noticed because, you guys know I talk a lot about TD Bank, T as in Tom, D as in dog, bank, TD Bank, right? They will ask for, when you submit your application for a business line of credit or business term loan, right? They do real estate loans as well, commercial real estate. They will ask you for a personal financial statement. You need to make sure that you are keeping track of this, right? So I use my personal financial advisor's business, not business, personal budget spreadsheet. So we have a spreadsheet. It has our goals, it has our debts. But I also use a tool called Personal Capital. So I don't get any kickback for that. There's no affiliate. It's called Personal Capital. It's a free tool. You load up all your accounts, all your bank accounts, personal and business, all your credit cards, all your loans, all your mortgages, and then you can add in, the property values of your properties, whether it's a rental property or your primary residence. And then it will calculate your total net worth, your retirement accounts. All of these things go into a calculation of your total net worth. And you should be keeping track of this, honestly, on your own. So again, we're talking about how to get startup loans. You want to make sure you're aware of where you stand financially, personally. And the reason being is because out of the gate, as a brand new business owner, you do not want to get in a situation where you're liquidating your 401k, you're liquidating your personal accounts, you're, selling off assets to fund your business and then asking the bank to lend you money. Okay. You kind of want to be in a good spot. Now, I'm a fan of doing some things that don't require as much startup capital. But if you're looking to do a grocery store, barbershop, whatever venture you're doing, having a clear financial personal picture is a must. Okay. You heard it here on the channel. It is a must, man. It is a must. You need to know it. You need to do it. You got to do it. There's no way around it. But the thing that banks like to see is that you have some cash, you have some skin in the game, right? That's where that personal financial statement comes into play. And what I'm primarily seeing from a lot of banks is when you are in a great position, revenue tends to matter less. A lot of banks will allow you to use projections, right? And that's what Brandy can help you with her business plans, right? She can help you with the projected gross sales for the first 3 years, year 1, year 3, year 5. But a lot of it is going to be just numbers, right? Until you actually market the business, get clients, get customers, make sales. All of it is just kind of going to be It's just kind of going to be fluff, so to speak. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing because remember, like I said, TD Bank, they will accept a business plan and they will give you the business plan, right? Now, I recommend if they give you the business plan, still have Brandy or have someone that you trust, an advisor, a coach, a mentor, have them kind of give you some guidance on how to set up that business plan. But as a startup, if you're looking for funding, business funding, lines of credit, term loans, equipment loans, things of that nature, you're going to have a personal financial statement and a business plan. These are the two key components to getting funding if you're offering a personal guarantee. Now, I still recommend and advise you guys to build your business profile. Banks are looking at this. We talked to 5 banks this week. They all say, hey, we look at the business profile as well as the personal profile, and we use a blended score. It could be Dun and Brad, it could be Experian, it could be Business Equifax, right? Ally Bank, for those of you looking to get vehicles, no PG, no personal guarantee, they look at the business Dun and Brad, they look at the business Equifax, okay? So just make sure you build the business profile. If you have not yet, make sure you comment below if you need access to the cheat sheet, right? Just comment cheat sheet. I'll comment back with the actual link to the free cheat sheet, or just come to the 1-day masterclass, right? It's 1 day. It's no 3-day challenge, no 5-day challenge. I'm not upselling you guys. It's literally me giving you the blueprint, right? All I ask is that you execute on the information when you leave. So definitely make sure you tap into the next business funding 1-day masterclass. All you have to do if you would like access to the masterclass is just text the letters EZ to 980-825-4360. And the reason why I'm telling you guys to come to the masterclass because a lot of you guys are still emailing me. You're struggling with how to build your business credit profiles. It's not as involved as you guys are making it out to be. Yes, I know there's a lot of YouTube University, a lot of information, even myself, my channel. We put out a lot of information in the beginning about how to build a business profile, but don't stress out about it. Don't make it complicated, right? 2 NAV accounts, 2 gas cards, 80 paydex strategy, okay? And we're going to deep dive into that Saturday at the Business Funding Made Easy 1-day masterclass. But just be mindful, right, of your personal financial statement, right? We just heard today Joe Biden announced that he is going to start forgiving $10,000 to $20,000 in student loan debt. I think that's going to be based on your income, right? So that's going to help you out. That's going to lessen your DTI, right? And just kind of think about applying for a business funding loan, a business line of credit, the same as you would if you were applying for a house, right? They're going to want to see tax returns, bank statements, etc., personal or business. But you can get funding. There are banks. Truist, you can get a business line of credit as a startup, being in business less than 18 months. TD Bank, even PNC, you can get a $25,000 business line of credit up to $25,000 without showing tax returns or bank statements, okay, as long as you're a customer. So there are options, but if you're looking to get a building, right, if you do nails, you're a nail tech, you're a hairdresser, and you want to purchase a salon to sell like the chairs, you're going to need a business plan. You're going to need a personal financial statement. You may want to even have some liquid capital because if you're purchasing an asset, a building, banks, if you're going SBA, right, which we'll get to SBA funding in a minute, SBA, they're going to want to see some some liquidation, some liquid capital on hand. So just be mindful, family. What else? Also, banking relationships matter. I just told you, PNC, you gotta bank with them. Same with Truist. You should always have, 2 or 3, maybe 5 business bankers that on a quarterly basis you're having conversations with them. Shout out to the late great Darrell Freeman, who was also the owner of Reliant Bank in Tennessee. Rest in power. but he said something, a quote that stuck with me, and I really took it to heart, especially as I started to, gain more notoriety in the space. You want to be meeting with your bankers on a quarterly basis, family. Now, for our clients, students of ours, we know the conversations that we need to be having. For those of you who are in our one-on-one accelerator program, you know that we give you the actual banks, we give you the points of contact, so you guys have our bankers and our bank contacts. But for you guys, just be mindful that at least once a quarter, you should be tapping in and letting that banker know, hey, this is what we're doing as far as revenue. This is what we're looking like. This is what we're projecting for the next 6 months, right? Always be meeting with your bankers. Always have multiple banks in your wheelhouse. Don't put all your money in one bank. I bank with Bank of America. I bank with the local banks. I bank with First Horizon. I have multiple business bank accounts. But get as many as you can manage. That's why I say 5 is a good sweet spot. 3 to 5. We don't need 10, 15, 20 if you can't manage it. Because I got in that situation too. So if you're a startup, if you're watching this and you're starting a business or you're thinking about starting a business, these are some things to be aware of. Okay, family. Now, how do you structure your personal credit? Okay, so we talked about the personal financial statement. We talked about the business plan. We talked about having a banking relationship. But the most key component is structuring your personal credit report. Now, we talk a lot about the primary accounts, but I want to kind of tackle how those primary accounts should be set up. So, what I personally would say is have at least 5 primary accounts. It can be a personal credit card, personal term loan, personal line of credit. A mortgage is great. If you own a home, if you bought your first property and you have a mortgage for at least 12 months, that is a major purchase. Banks like to see that. But again, 5 primary minimum, 7 to 10 is the sweet spot. And when I say primary, I mean accounts that are in your personal name attached to your personal social security number, not a authorized user account or CPN or any of that fraud stuff. Primary accounts that are in your personal name. Okay, family. That is how you kind of start to structure your personal credit. If you have a mortgage, a car you paid off, student loans, it's kind of, I mean, like I said, we know Joe is going to forgive some of that debt, which is great. It's going to lower your DTI, your debt to income ratio, which is good. You always want to be, in a great position as far as your net worth. You want to have more assets than you do debt. That's how you play the wealth game. It's cool to get rich, but you definitely want to play the wealth game, even at a small scale. Just my personal opinion. But I say all that to say, just be mindful of your debts. Be mindful of on your personal credit reports. If you have high balances, you're not optimized. Now, there's a way to get funding even when you're not optimized if you're a startup, and we'll kind of get into the no PG stuff here in a minute. But just be mindful. For the most part, you're going to have to build your business profile, but you're also going to have to structure your personal credit. You're going to have to pull your credit report, pull your identity IQ. I'll put the link in the description. You're going to have to look at your credit report. You're going to have to see, okay, I got 8 accounts in my personal name. I got a mortgage. I got a car and a couple credit cards. My average age is about 3 to 5 years, right? Your utilization typically, if you're a startup, the lower the better, but somewhere around 10 to 15%, right? I know a lot of guys or gurus are telling you 30% can get the job done. Absolutely not. Not in this economy. You got to be under 20%. Ideally 15. So, and then 2, your limits, your personal credit limits. I know you guys love Navy Federal, but there are other banks. You can go to Alliant. You can go to Regions Bank. Regions Bank gives high limit personal credit cards. You can go to PenFed. PenFed is great for high limit personal credit cards. Capital One, they're known for giving personal limit increases. Okay. But just overall, I would say have at least 5 accounts 3 of them revolving with limits of $2,000 or more. All right. And when you come to the masterclass, I'm going to deep dive into all of this, right? But just understand, as a startup, you want to have your personal credit structured in a certain way. All right, family. My guy Santana just jumped in the building. What's going on, man? He said Trey Four in this thing. Absolutely, man. Carolina's own. You better believe it. But just kind of wrap your mind around how you want to approach the banks. For those of you who are thinking about attending the masterclass, if you get the VIP ticket, you get the handouts with the bank scripts. Okay, so you get the access to the bank scripts. Having conversations with banks will be the number one game changer, I promise you, on your way to get your $100,000 on your first $100,000. Having conversations with banks, letting them know what your plans are, vetting the different bankers, right? You may talk to 3 or 4 different bankers before you connect with one that can help you. Just understand the process. Understand where we are as an economy, right? Understand where you are as a startup business owner. Your industry is going to matter, right? Service-based businesses tend to do well in a down economy, so to speak. Whereas, hotels, vacation, certain industries tend to struggle in recessions. Real estate is going to always do what real estate does. So owning property is a great thing. But just overall, understand your industry, know your competitors, right? Know your competitors, know who you're up against, know your industry, know who, what their revenues is, what their burn rate is, things of that nature, right? Their profit margins. These are things that bankers will ask you. And you got to know these numbers, family. Even myself, I had to sit down, with my mom and, my accountant, my tax people, and really get clear on what our numbers are looking like, right? Because as a business owner, that is your job, right? Your job as a CEO is to get capital, to seek capital. Your job as a CEO is to make sure the operations are in order, make sure you're hiring the right people, putting the right people in the right seats, right? And all of that good stuff. So just be mindful. Be mindful that as a startup, this is a commitment, right? As an entrepreneur, it is a commitment. And you will be tested. You will be tested. Okay, family. But just understand that you can get funding when you structure your personal credit. Now, if you're looking to get no PG funding, no personal guarantee, meaning you don't want to use your personal credit, you want to keep your personal credit separate from your business credit, I would recommend you be generating at minimum $500,000 a year. $500,000 a year to 1.5. At that point, there are some lenders. You got Divvy. You got Ramp. We just had a good conversation with Ramp. Brex was a player in this space. Corpay, even PayPal loans. PayPal loans is great for no PG funding. But just understand that your revenue is going to dictate no PG funding, right? Stripe is another no personal guarantee option, but you need to be generating revenue, right? Like I told you guys on the last live stream, get a Stripe account set up ASAP tonight. Set up your Stripe account. No more Cash Apps, no more Zelles, family. As soon as you can, get off the Zelles, get off the cash accounts. The IRS is looking for you guys. They know you're not keeping track of their income, so they're coming for those Cash Apps, and they will freeze them until you can produce receipts. But just be mindful of the other no PG, no personal guarantee options. There are no personal guarantee options available as a startup, but you need to have a clear distinction on what your revenues are. 500,000 to 1.5 million. Now, the average small business does about $60,000 to $70,000 a year. So let's PG, family. Let's just get in the habit of just accepting the fact that we're going to PG until we don't have to anymore. And that's pretty much the two sides of the coin as a startup. You can go to PG route, you can go to no PG route. Now, if you're going no personal guarantee, you're going to have to build a profile, 2 NAV accounts, 2 gas cards, 80 paydex strategy, Comment cheat sheet below if you need access to my free Business Funding Made Easy cheat sheet, where I literally show you step by step how to get a paydex score and business credit scores in 45 days or less. All right, just comment cheat sheet under this video, family, and I'll send it right to your comment. But you need to build a profile. I just had someone email me today. BMW and Bank of America auto loans do not report to business credit, but their business credit cards do report to business credit. Okay, so same thing with Citi. Same thing with Citi. So that's an easy way to get a trade line without having a net 30. And there's other credit cards and business credit cards that report to business experience specifically, right? Bank of America is one. Citi is one. Divvy reports to Dun and Bradstreet. First National Bank of Omaha reports to Dun and Bradstreet. So you don't need a lot of net 30 vendors. You need a good mix. You need some gas cards. You need some nav accounts. You need Uline. You need Quill. You need FNBO. You need Bank of America. You need Citi. The Citi is going to be a PG. Bank of America as well. Divvy is a no PG, right? But they look at your revenue. They want to see your business bank statements. So you just have to be mindful, family. You just have to be mindful where you are in your business journey, right? You may be at the starting gate and you may not be looking to get funding for like the next 90 days or let's say 180 days. Still go ahead and get the DUNS number. Still start focusing on the profile, right? Get the cheat sheet. Because you don't want to have to circle back. And that was the reason why I even came over to the YouTube world talking about business credit in a way that a lot of people gravitated to, is because there was a lot of fluff, a lot of BS, a lot of bad information centered around how to build business credit. So come to the masterclass, family. I can't stress that enough. It's a free event. We used to charge $297 for this, right? But I said, I'm on a mission. Y'all know my mission. I've been staying this all year, and it's not going to change. I want the most approvals. Shout out to Credit Plug. I want the most approvals, right? And in order for me to get the most business funding approvals, I need you guys to execute. I need you to come back every week and tell me that you got the DUNS number. You got the business bank account set up. You had a conversation with a few bankers. You got approved, right? I'll ask you every week who got approvals, Because if you're doing the steps and you're doing the work, you come to the masterclass, right? For those of you who need one-on-one help, we have a program set aside for you. We have the masterclass. If you choose the VIP option, you can come back to future masterclasses. No additional charge. So there's no excuse at this point, family. You just got to execute. You just got to do the thing that's going to move the needle. Okay. You got to do the thing that's going to move the needle. And I'm talking to myself because right now we're about to ramp up to get our funding, right? A lot of you guys know I was over 350,000 in funding. And now we're about to go for another 100,000, right? But gotta have the docs, gotta have your P&Ls, right? Your org chart. These are things that as an entrepreneur, that's your job, right? One of your jobs is to seek capital, right? As a CEO, your job is to always be seeking capital, building relationships, things of that nature. But you also have to worry about your operations, your profit and loss, your business bank accounts, your bookkeeping, your staff, paying your staff, things of that nature. So that's pretty much it, family. You guys got questions about startup funding, make sure you type them in the chat. I don't want to be on here too long because I know you guys are hard at work figuring out what your next business funding approval will be. Kiana Moses said, cheat sheet, please. Okay, absolutely. I'll make sure you get access to the cheat sheet. I'll put it in the chat, guys. So 80 Paydex cheat sheet, cheat sheet.com. Boom, there it is. All right, so you should see that in the comments, Kiana and Deprina. But yeah, family, hopefully you guys got some value from today's session. Do you guys got questions about anything? Any quick questions Again, don't forget to register for our next Business Funding Made Easy Masterclass. It starts at 10 a.m. this Saturday, August the 22nd. It's a totally free event. If you use the code EASY at checkout, you can save $50 off a VIP ticket. I do recommend VIP if you have questions. If you're really not sure where to begin in your business funding journey, just come to the VIP session, right? You got 2 extra hours with me. I literally start the session for VIP at 9 a.m. and you're with me all the way until about 3:30 that day. So just check it out, see if it's something that may fit your schedule. But again, text the letters EZ to 980-825-4360 to get registered for the next Business Funding Made Easy Masterclass. Hopefully, I see everybody there. I know my brother Santana is going to be in the building as always. And it's no secret, man. Shout out to Santana, right? It's no secret that this guy is almost over 250 in funding, right? He's been coming to the masterclass since the beginning. He's in our accelerator program. So, I mean, it's no secret, man, for a lot of you guys. So, if I don't see any questions, family, if you guys got a question, I'll take a few questions real quick before we hop off the live. I just wanted to kind of come on here and give you guys some game about how to get startup funding for your business, because it's important, right? A lot of you guys are hitting me up saying you just started your business or you're going to start your business. I just want to make sure that you get off to the right foot when you're starting your business, if you're a startup, family. So I don't see any questions. I think everybody knows what the game plan is. We're going into the last 4 months of the year. I got to step it up. Y'all probably seeing me on your news feeds. Ads is running. So yeah, we got to make it happen, family. But I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys again. If you like this content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. It helps our content get out to a wider audience. Also, if you're watching this video and you would like our team to help you get your first or your next $100,000 in funding without walking into a bank, without showing tax returns, and without having to pay for credit repair, then make sure you text the letter CBCA. I'm going to put it on the screen. Text the letters CBCA to 980-825-4360. So text the letters CBCA to 980-825-4360. If you're watching this on the replay, just comment CBCA and I'll make sure you get the link to set up a call to see how our team can help you get your first or your next $100,000 in business funding without walking into a bank. I appreciate the love, family. As always, I don't see any questions. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video, and I will see you guys next week. Come to the masterclass. It's free. I'll see you guys there Saturday, man, 10 a.m. All right. Peace.